Welcome to my market update video. I'm going to talk today about my recent tweets. Then we'll talk about Tone Weiss and Haejin, who are extremely bearish, and I am not, and I'm going to explain to you why. And that's all for today. So let's start immediately. I'm going to share my screen. And as always, I'm asking of you to read the disclaimer, just so that you know that there are risks involved in trading. So please read my disclaimer in French. You find the link in the description to my website. If you speak, in English, if you speak French, read it in French on my French website. And if you speak German, do read it in German. My disclaimer, just so you know that there are risks involved in trading. Now, let's, as I told you, start with my tweets. So my last intervention was a couple of days ago, so I only have one or two tweets, I think 2 tweets to show you. And first one is the one I did yesterday. And it was about a resource-based economy. Let's see if I can find the English version of it. Here, I did write, isn't that better than having our governments killing people and reinforcing inequality and poverty? And here we have the introduction video to a resource-based economy.
Based on human concern and environmental reclamation. It proposes a holistic social design in which automation and technology will be intelligently integrated to maximize the quality of life rather than simply profits.
Undesirable behaviors are products of long exposure to detrimental environments. If we wish to surpass the limitations of our present day.
Okay, I don't know if I can show you the whole entire clip without getting banned, so let's stop. But it's interesting. What I'm really interested in is just that you look at the cities and get an idea of what a resource-based economy is and how it functions. So that's a resource-based economy, and it's a good introduction video to a resource-based economy. So I did put it in a tweet. Take a look at it. That was my first tweet, and the second tweet I have to show you is this one. Here's the English version of my tweet, and it says, he should have been taken out many years ago. Some people take other people out without any due procedure or allowing any defense, whenever they want, however they want. This is the Far West, and it is happening today in 2020. Violence is spreading. And that's my response to Donald Trump's tweet. And there should be a second one, because that's just the first part of it. There should be a part 2. Yes, we are all primitive and should go for a resource-based economy as defined by Jacques Fresco as soon as possible. So that was my tweet to the answer of the thing of the with Iran and the upcoming war. I have no idea if that happens or not, but I think that it is a sign of the dysfunctioning of our society, that people are killing other people whenever they want without any due procedure, and that violence is spreading, and it is everywhere. It's in our streets, and it's in our schools. It's you find it. Our political institutions are full of it, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing that all day long. So I think that it is more than time that humanity gets up to the next level and will be looking for a real solution and no more BS, no more slaughtering people, no more killing people, no more injustice, no more poverty, no more people starving to death or can't have access to education or healthcare. All that, I'm more than tired of it. I'm tired of people asking for donation because a wildfire has started or something else. I'm really tired of it. I want something that works. I want something where I can live happily, where my kids can live happily, and every other human being on earth. And it is not the system you did put in place. It never was, and it never will be. This is sick. This is sickness. And we will all die together if we don't change our trajectory real fast. And I mean, nobody listens to my video. Nobody looks at me. Nobody cares about what I talk. But if I'm the only person on earth, or just Fresco, telling you the truth, it won't work, okay? You have to do your part too, okay? So there's a couple of things you can do. You can, for example, like my videos. If you do not agree, we can have a discussion about it, okay? And you can tell me why capitalism and freedom-loving capitalism is so great, and why you love it that much, that you are poor, that your kids are poor, that your wife won't speak to you, and that everything is fucked up. You can tell it to me on air. We're gonna have fun, okay? If you think that the retarded stuff that you have learned or preach works, I mean, look what we have. Look what we have. We have injustice, violence, war, never-ending poverty, all the climate and problems that go with it. Come on. Be serious for a second. Anyways, that was my rant about the resource-based economy. And now let's enter the real subject of this video, which is the outlook from the two traders, Todd Weiss and Haejin, which are extremely bearish. So let's start with that. So this is Todd Weiss' tweet, and he thinks that we should go down, that there should be a more big pullback. It's very likely. Okay, so and that we should go down to 5.6K. That's Todd Weiss' outlook, because he thinks that that moving average, which is the 200 weekly, should be retested. Do I agree? No, I don't. But that's Todd Weiss' outlook, and it shows me that Wave 2 has done its work, because people now are extremely bearish, and that's exactly what should happen in Wave 2. Now let's look at Haejin. So he's looking at that wedge, and he thinks that now we are going down, okay? But he thought that we were going down here also, and now he thinks again that we are going down. We'll see if he's right or if he's not. But again, extremely bearish outlook from Haejin. And then you have the next thing. Haejin thinks that because of all those people that are pumping the price and are always bullish, that because of that, we should go down. And he talks about a bear market, which I do not agree anyways. So let's take off those tweets. But to me, what's important is not those people who never know anything about trading, never wanted to learn it, have no idea about it. But what is important to me is Haejin and Todd Weiss' outlook. And I think that it's a contrarian indicator. What I mean by that is that if they are bearish, there's a good chance that price will pick up from here on. So for me, it's exactly that. But you don't have to look at people who never know anything about trading or who never know anything about markets, because they never wanted to put the work into it to study it. Don't listen to them. It's totally irrelevant what they say. It never had any point. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but it does not matter, because they don't know anything about markets. They never wanted to study it. Now, what's the interesting thing is why somebody like Haejin, Todd Weiss is a special case. I mean, he's so bad at trading that I don't know what to tell you. it's just funny. It's just funny. But so let's not talk about him. But let's talk about Haejin, who is using the same indicator than me, which is Elliott wave. And how come that I am bullish and Haejin, who looks at the same indicator than I do, is bearish? So I will explain that to you. That's because of the wave structure. And as you see, we had wave 1 here, and then we did get the correction. So the correction could have been over here, just here where I'm pointing at right now. Maybe I should change the pointer so you see it, but I think you see it. You see the hand. It will do. I'll do that I will do that another time when I have time. Maybe I change the pointer so you see better what I'm pointing to. But I think you can get it. So the correction could have been ended here. Okay, we went up and we went down again. So wave 2 was deeper and longer than most analysts thought. And now Haejin has completely given up on Bitcoin, or it sounds like it. Okay. If he does not agree with what I said, he can talk to me. I will gladly have him live on there and talk to him. If Toneways, who's always wrong with his price prediction, wants to tell me why his TD sequential is so refined and the best indicator you can have on Earth, and how much money, and how great you can lose your money, all your money with it, he's also welcomed. He's also welcome. We can have fun. I talk to them with a lot of pleasure. I'm sure it will be extremely funny talking to people that pretend knowing something about the market when they do not. But psychologically talking, people get start believing in the uptrend in wave 1, and then they get skeptical. And when you get at the end of wave 2, they have given up about on the market, and that's exactly when you get wave 3, which is the most bullish of the 3. It should be there's a terminology for it. It cannot be the shortest of the 3 wave 1, 3, or 5. So this one should be more important. It is most of the time it's the extended one. So when everybody has given up about on Bitcoin, that's when you get wave 3. So to me, that Tone and Haejin have given up on it, talk about the bear market and so on, is they still believe we are in a bear market. To me, what I show you right now is clearly not a bear market. Okay. It is clearly not. When will I change my mind? If we go below 3,585.40 or 3,122.28. If those levels do not hold, I will change my mind and tell you that yes, I was wrong and we are still in a bear market. But as long as we do hold those, I only believe that we have a very steep wave 2. And that is what we have now. It is so steep that Tone and Haejin have given up on it. And that most analysts are now very skeptical and from bullish went bearish. Now, let's go on. Here you have the weekly chart, and this could have been the end of the correction C wave at 6,341. Let's see if it holds. The same thing here, and now we could have on the daily, on the 2 days, we could have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If that's the case, wave 2 should not go below 6,425. And right now it's looking very good on the 2-day chart. If we go down to the 1-day chart, it is less clear. Here I still have the zigzag, irregular, and flat, because the first one was for sure a zigzag. The second one could have been an irregular. I'm not 100% sure, but I would give it maybe 70% chance. And this one looks very flat for now, so it still could be a flat, as I've putting it on. Well, the X wave, of course, does not fit into anything right now, but there's nothing I can do about that. Here we have the 4-hour chart, and you see that we did get, so according to me, we had an ABC up, then an ABC down, and the C was made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave, which is perfect. And now we have a 1-2 wave. If that's the case, we should now get wave 3. Okay, and to talk about wave 3, let's look at the 1-hour chart. If this is wave 3 and wave 3 has started, we should now get a 1, 2, 3, as I pointed it out, 4 and 5. And I'm not sure actually that will happen, because it is impulsive, but it's not enough impulsive in my opinion. So I'm scared that this all will break down and that we are still corrective. But even if we are still corrective, even if I don't see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves that will make wave 3, even if I don't see that, it's a question of time to me when we get the end of the correction, when we get the point C, and from there on we'll get an impulsive structure following, an impulsive wave 3 following. To me, it's a question of time. Maybe this is not the start of it. It could be. Then we still have to be patient and wait for it to start. But I think that the engine will start at the moment or next one. If you are bearish, firstly, it could be a flat. So the lows might not be taken out. And you are taking the risk that an impulse wave is starting anytime, can start anytime soon now. And when that starts, you will get liquidated. Haejin Lee did a very bad job doing this wave 2 of the uptrend since 14K. And because of that, because he did that really bad job in predicting price movement since 14K, he went totally bearish now. He gave up on Bitcoin. He simply lost too much money in the market. So he's desperate and not believing in it anymore. That's not my case. And I still believe that the wave, that the impulsive wave will start anytime soon from here on. I'm not sure that this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as I put it here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As I put it here, I'm not sure that impulsive wave has started. But if it hasn't started now, I will expect it just later. And I will be patient because I know, according to my TA, that it will happen. That's what my TA tells me. Nothing has happened that could change my outlook regarding to this analysis. The only thing I can tell you is that the wave 2 was long and deep. And because it was long and deep, it should end anytime now, anytime. And I think we are talking about maybe hours, days, or a couple of weeks, but it should not last a long time. We have spent a long time in the correction. Let's see how much time we have spent in the correction. So if that is the uptrend 1, then this is 2, the downtrend. And if we put the candles on it, we have now spent exactly the same amount of time in the correction than in the uptrend. And that's enough. That's enough for the correction, for a long and steep correction. The correction I'm normally shorter in Bitcoin, and I'm expecting us to go. But maybe there's a flat following, and we go not just 2, but 2.62. That could be the case, and then you just simply have to be patient. It could still take months. This would be the beginning of May, so it will be at the halving of Bitcoin. I don't know when this stops, because when it is not a simple correction, an ABC, simple, but a complex correction, it is extremely hard, according to me, to predict, and some other analysts, to predict the end of the correction. So I do not know where the correction stops, but I know that the correction should stop anytime soon now. Okay, that's enough about Elliott wave. Now let's look at my second favorite indicator. This is those trend lines. I've started them here, and as you can see, that trend line is extremely important, and it holds the price, and I expect it to hold the price. So I do not agree at all with Tone Weiss or Haejin, because they think that that trend line will not hold. I tell you, for now, I'm looking at it, and for me, it is holding easy the price up. So right now, to break that trend line, we should be at 6,332.97. I do not think that that will happen. I think that the trend line will hold the price for, I hope, a long time. I hope during the entire bull market until the top of wave 5. Then it could break. But I do not expect it to break now. I do not expect it to break anytime soon. So I'm feeling confident in the price action right now. And to me, this is perfect indication to put more money into Bitcoin, to dollar cost average, or to increase your holdings. I think it's a perfect time to do that right now. Brilliant to go long, according to me. But you know, there's a disclaimer, and you know there are risks involved in trading. Then here, it's the same indicator, but this time I'm looking at the wave 2. Before that, I looked at the uptrend. Now I look at the downtrend. So if I look at the downtrend, you can see that the trend line, this one was holding the price down during the last 2 candles, but now we made it above it. That's perfect, simply perfect. Okay, and it tells me that now there's just one more trend line, which is resistance, and from there on there should be smooth sailing, should be honky-dory until the end of wave 3. So here right now I've put the last trend line at 7,883, but we could break it sooner. And if that trend line breaks, if you get a candle opening above that trend line, and it according to me it has broken just as this one broke, I'm expecting smooth sailing until above 20k until the end of wave 5, which should be maybe at 50k or 100k. So I'm expecting this to break, and we go up from there on. And all, look, I'm talking about hash, about Tone and Haejin, but they can come on and tell me the TA. They can explain it to us. Will they show up? Will they talk to us? No, they won't, because it will be hard for them to defend their point of view. And even if I'm extremely nice to them, I don't think they have the arguments or the conviction to talk to me. They simply do not. Okay, that's talking enough about them. I don't want to say anything above that, because I don't want to troll them too much or be too harsh for people that in the future maybe will want to talk to me. And it's still better than talking to somebody who knows absolutely nothing. But what they know is not enough most of the time to survive in the market. This goes especially to Tone, and it is doubtful looking at Haejin, okay? Because he did a really bad start job in doing the wave 2, and now looks a little desperate. But he's welcome to show up, show his face, or take or hide behind some image and tell us what he thinks and why he thinks it. Okay. But if all he has to tell me that he thinks that he sees a wedge, and because of that Bitcoin is screwed, it's a little light, huh? I mean, a real TA that is not that. It never was and never should be. Okay, let's move on. So now let's just look at the indicators. There's one that I find interesting and I want to show you. I've went up to a 4-month chart with that indicator, and I really want to show it to you. It will show up anytime soon, but I have to reload that chart because we don't have the updated price on it. So there's nothing I can do about that. That's technical issues. We do have technical issues in 2020. We do have technical issues, a lot of them. I needed to make an OCR, orthographic character recognition, installed a couple of applications because I wasn't satisfied about the quality of the application. One of them that I downloaded was a virus. Now I try to get it off my system, and I'm not sure that it's working. I'm not sure that my antivirus program managed to get it out of my system. So it really sucks. 2019 sucks. Not just 2020 sucks. Not just because we are living under capitalism and the monetary system. Not just because everything you have to pay a lot of money for it and you get bad service and bad stuff. But also because even if you pay, you end up having an infection on your system, and then it works even less good as it already does. So this indicator is a little screwed because here it is giving wrong data. So let's look to the next one. It's this stock to flow model. Here you see stock to flow model picking up. So since stock to flow model is picking up, I'm expecting the price to pick up also. Here, I'm sorry for it, but the same thing as on last chart, not all the charts will have to be reloaded, but this one has to be reloaded. It's my job to do this. I haven't looked at all those indicators today. I'm looking at them with you. So you have to give me the time to do my job until the end. I want to see those indicators because I have to make up my opinion about the market every day. And I must be able to change my opinion if something happens. Right now, that's not the case. But if tomorrow that happens, I have to be able to change my opinion about the market. And I can't do that if I do not look at my charts. I don't know how you do it. Maybe you look at the stars. Maybe you listen to tones, BS. Maybe you have a pick that gives you the future. Maybe you have your crystal ball. I do not know how you manage to survive in the market. I survive because of my TA, because of my chart, because of my indicators. Okay, you have no clue. Okay, how you manage it, but I have to look at that stuff. Next. So now look, perfect. Tone waves screw up. You get a 2 trading below a 1. He goes big time short. And what happens? Price rises. And now you have a 1 above a green one. So now he has to exit with a huge loss his position, since it was not just a wrong call, but it also was a leverage position. And he's always like this. He always is like this. At 14K, he wanted to go long, and down here, he was extremely bearish, calling for prices at 1K. So yes, I'm expecting now candle number 2 trading above the candle number 1, and then maybe he'll be bullish, maybe not. If he is, then we will be in the same boat. If not, I do not care. Even if he's right, he managed to screw up. I'm talking about tone, so I don't care. Okay, but for now it is a 1, and according to TA, you have to wait for the candle number 2 trading above the candle number 1. That's the best time for you to lose all your money, especially if you listen to tone. Next, here we have some moving averages, depth cost you had here, and now we still do not have the depth cost, but I think it could happen anytime soon. I do not expect us to revisit the I don't know if it's the trend. Let's see what moving average that is. It is the 200. Yes, I wanted to say the 200, but I didn't want to say anything wrong. So it's the 200. I do not expect us to revisit the 200, as does the tone. I think that those look good. The wicks are down here, and the price seems to hold that level. And I'm expecting at the end of wave 2 and the start of wave 3. Next. Here you had one dev course and now you had the second dev course, which is bad. But even with the second dev course, price aren't dropping, which to me is good. Next, are fiber optics. And I put a lot of RAM. I have a fast CPU and I put a lot of RAM in this computer, and still I have to wait for my charts to load. That's simply how it is. Best time to go long was here, but now you're very close to that level and you should go long if you did not go long here. Next, that's a DCA indicator. Here we are still bearish. Actually, I say negative normally. So let's go back to negative. It's the same thing. If I say negative or bearish, it has the same meaning to me. Here we are still negative. Let's say negative because I'm not bearish. So I don't want to say I'm bearish all the time. Let's say negative instead, which is lighter. And those indicators to me are a light indication of something happening, but it is not determinant. I mean, it does not change my mind about the outlook if an indicator jumps from positive to negative. So let's use the term positive or negative, which is more accurate. I use the term of impulsive or corrective, or bullish or corrective with Elliott wave, because that's more important to me. But here I want to use the terminology of positive or negative. So now, you see, you can listen to me. You can understand what I'm talking about. Okay? You can have a different opinion and you can tell me why, but you can understand it. And I do not show you a little wedge and tell you, oh, because of my little wedge, I think that Bitcoin is going to zero. That is a joke, a real joke. So here we are getting close to a golden cross, and that would be perfect. Because when a golden cross happens here, you can have a very smooth wave, up wave. So that would be the confirmation to me that wave 3 has started, and I hope to see it soon. And we are getting close to it. So here again, you have to wait. We are positive on that indicator. You had a golden cross here. Let's hope that we keep being positive for a quite long time. Next. The same thing here. It's the same indicator, but a little different. And here it's not exactly the same moving average. But here again, you have a golden cross, which is great. Let's hope that price stays above and keeps rising. Here we are still negative, but it could change anytime soon. I mean, not anytime soon. There's still a lot of space between them, and we still have to get above the red moving average before we get a golden cross. Next. So momentum is looking better, but we're still not positive on momentum. But it's looking much better, which is great. Here we are above the moving average, which I like, and if we keep rising, it will be positive anytime soon now. Next. So you see there's much more positive stuff going on in the chart according to my indicator as during the last interventions I've made, and that's good. That's good for price. That's confirming that we get to the end of wave 2 and that wave 3 is starting. And if you don't know even that, if you can't tell me what is your Elliott wave count, then what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you studying? I know that Elliott wave is difficult, but if you can't manage to look at it, if you have no idea about market structure, why do you waste my time with your TA? Here on COPEC, we are positive on the first one. We are positive on the on the 2 first indicators. We are positive. The other one is still not positive, but flattening out, and that one is also flat. So I think that both of them could be positive, all of them could be positive soon, and that would be great. Very nice to see. Then I would be extremely confident in price, but I'm already because of Elliott wave. Here we touch the lower band, Bollinger Band. I think it's a Bollinger Band. I can check it because I have indicators that aren't Bollinger Band but look as a Bollinger Band. Yes, it's a BB band. So we touched the last the down one. I want us to go to now get above the middle Bollinger Band, and then I'm expecting us to touch the upper Bollinger Band. After touching the lower Bollinger Band, I want us to touch the upper Bollinger Band now. Here we are getting close, people. We are getting close to being bullish. As soon as we manage to stand above the right moving average, this indicator has gone bullish again. And as you see right now, it is resistance, but I do not expect that resistance to hold. Next. I'm enjoying my TA today. I hope you are too. Here we are on MACD. The last MACD is bullish, but the other ones are, sorry, the last MACD is positive, but the other ones are negative. So this is more negative than positive, but MACD is a lagging indicator, and we still have to give him some time before he goes positive. Now we're looking at stock. It hasn't shown up. Yes, here we go. And stock was looking very nice the last time I looked at it. And now, unfortunately, the last stock went negative, but it could be positive anytime soon. And the stock above that is still positive. And let's hope that we stay positive, or will be again anytime soon. My TA would be shorter if I could load those charts faster, but I can't. And since I can't, it takes the time that it takes. First indicator is negative. Second indicator is looking better. We are flattening out. I hope that we will be that price that moving average will be pointing up anytime soon. The red dot have ceased, and that to me is a little positive, slightly. Here again, that was the best moment to go long, and right now you have something similar happening. So it's again a very good place, according to me, to go long. Here we are still negative. I hope we manage to go above the middle band or the average. Anyways, next. I didn't design all those indicators, so I don't know in detail what they are or how they work. What is important to me is that I can read them, that I can see if they are positive or negative. Here, everything is right now negative. Here, we are still negative, but I mean, that's simply the case. It is different than in the last bull market. We did not get that much negative candles in the last bull market. Here again, so I hope that 6,425 holds, that was the low. And this indicator, which was negative for a very long time, just went positive. Yuppie. Let's hope that we get now a very nice positive momentum, just as we did during wave 1. Let's hope we get the same thing now for wave 3. It could be the case. Could be the start of wave 3, according to that indicator. To me, the other indicator confirm or invalidate my 8 wave outlook. So they are secondary. I could manage without them, but I find it quite funny, quite interesting to look at them. I've looked at a lot of them, and those are my favorite ones that I'm showing you. Here we are negative on the first one. The second one we are negative. The third one we had, on the last one, we had 2 places to go long, and now it's picking up, which is nice. I'm expecting price to rise on that indicator. We were oversold, and now we could go over bought. First one is positive, second one is positive, last one is negative. Okay, that was the other indicator that I changed and wanted to show you. So as you can see, if you did go long here, it was nice to go up. If you go long here, it was nice place to go up. Here it did not work, but here again it worked, and here again it worked very nicely. So the thing is, that indicator changes when price changes, so it's not definitive. But let's see. I think it went, I don't know exactly when it went positive, but let's look at the coordinates. Let's put 7K for the moment when it went positive. I'm not sure that that was the case, but let's put 7K, okay? So now it looks positive, and I'll hope it stays positive, because then to me it would be the start of that uptrend. The thing with that indicator too is I don't know when it went negative here. Did it go negative at the top of the candle or at the bottom of the candle? If it did get negative at the top or close to the top, it was the indicator worked great. But if you had to wait for it to go negative to be at the bottom, then it did not work that great. So I don't know, because I was not looking at the time at that indicator, but now I am. So let's keep 7K for the moment when this went positive. I'm not sure that 7K was the moment, but it could have been. And let's see what happens in the future. It's an indicator that works not bad. If I look at that, just at what I see right now. And it's very simple. I mean, it's very simple to put up. If you don't want to look at Elliott wave, just look at that indicator. If you don't want to look at Elliott wave, but still want to know if you should be short, you went short here, you were short during the entire bull market. And if the indicator went long here, you went long on a or anytime down on the candle down, you went long maybe at 4K, and that would have been great. You could have gone short then again on this indicator, on this candle, in best case scenario at 11K, and then you would have gone short from 11K to 7K if that was the case. So if you do not want to take any other indicator and simply have something very basic but that works, that looks like if it's working very nicely, use that indicator and forget about anything else. Next. First, we are still positive, and the other ones are unfortunately all negative. Here, the first one looks still negative. The second one is still negative. The third one is positive, and that is great. And the last one is low. Here we are negative on the first one, we are negative second, third, and the last one is maybe slightly positive. I'm not sure. It's flat at least. If it's not positive, it's neutral. Ooh, I like what I see. I like what I see. I do like what I see. It is new and I like it. I like it. So here we had a long negative momentum. And right now it just flipped positive. So once it is flipped positive, it could be the start of, as I told you, wave 3. And we should have smooth sailing from here on. That one is still negative. And this one is also still negative, but could be positive anytime soon. And the last one is also still negative. Next. Okay, so did we lose the red moving average or not? Well, It could be, but then again, you are close to it. You are still holding it. I would say we did lose it on last candle, but now we are and now it is resistance. But as soon as we get above this, as soon as we get above all those three moving averages, as soon as we'll be, I'll show you what level. Okay, I was scared that I pressed the wrong button and that I stopped recording, but it still says recording or stop share. So it still gives me a little point that is red, like if we are recording. I mean, it sucks. It really sucks. Why can't you do some normal stuff? Why can't it be clearly showing me if we are recording or not? Why do I get a little dot that says probably recording, but I do not know? Can't you not make the stuff so that that you clearly know what is going on and that I don't waste an hour talking to myself? Come on, people. Anyways, as soon as we are above 8.461K, we should be, I would be more positive. It would be great because all that is resistance right now on that. That last indicator is positive, but all that is resistant right now. Here, first one is negative, second one is negative, third one is negative, and last one is, well, it's still red, so it's still more negative than anything else, but the worst seems to be behind us, and I hope that price from here on will be picking up and that it will be positive anytime soon. First is positive, second is still negative. Here, those moving averages or lines or whatever they are picking up. That's looking better. This one is positive, this one is still negative, and this one is quite low for now. Next. First one is negative, second one is maybe positive. I'm not sure. I can look at it. Yes, it's positive. Great, 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 great. Nice. Here we are still negative. Well, yes, we are still negative. And that one is negative too. And the last one is negative. So there's still some negative momentum, but it's looking better. Here we are negative on that one and negative on the second one too. First one is negative, second one negative, third one negative, last one no data, so I can tell you. Okay, this one does not look anything good. I'm wondering if that is a B, and if it's a B, I've never seen a B showing up, so I don't think it's a B. I think there's something wrong with the indicator showing me something that does not fit, but it looks terrible. This indicator is one of the worst I've looked at. This doesn't look good to me at all, because we went negative for a very long time now, for all those candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and if that's still negative, it still is. I mean, you even get the red thing down. 6, so for more than 6 weeks, more than 1 month, you went negative, and that's looking terrible. It's really looking terrible. It is totally different than last bull markets, and that's probably the worst thing I've looked at today. Here we're still negative. Here we are still negative. Here we are now above that line, that mathematic line. And I would say that's quite positive. Now let's hope that the next line that we will touch and go above the next line anytime soon. And the next level is at the next level is at 8.5K. Here we are still negative. Okay, people are bearish. So I don't know why Haejin think that the market is that bullish. They are not. Look, they are bearish. And to me, this is positive. This is still negative. I mean, there's no dot like down here telling us that the bottom is in, but maybe it will show up later. I don't know exactly how that indicator works. Here, expect that level to hold, which is 3.14K in every case scenario. I hope that to hold. So I don't expect us to go below 3.5K. I'm rounding up. Here we are positive, which is nice. Let's hope we stay positive. Here we're still negative. Here we are positive, which is nice. And we are moving up the line, which is nice. There's no gap I want to talk about, so let's move on. We touched the lower band. I don't think this one is a Bollinger Band, but I think it works the same way. And now I hope that we go above the middle Bollinger Bands and then touch the higher Bollinger Band. We are positive on the second indicator. Here we are still positive because there's no short indication, but we had the correction just as we did have a correction here. So this looks like last bull market, which is quite surprising because to me this bull market looks different than last bull market, but according to this indicator, it's the same. And this one is good too. If you want just an indicator to go long or short, you could have gone long on that candle and you would still be in the long position right now. You could have gone long here and you would have gone short only here, which is great. So if you don't want to look at any wave, just look at this indicator. You can choose between this one and the other one, the one you like more. Here we are negative on all those indicators. There's a sell signal, surprising, and we don't have a buy signal right now. Here we are close, and when we are close, to me, the risk to go long is quite low, which is nice. And last one is low, which is also to me an indication to take a position, like a long position, if that's your TA analysis outlook. We are negative on the second indicator. On the first one, that moving average is holding the price for now. No, it's not. So no, it is resistance. Anyways, if you can manage to go above those moving averages, that would be very nice. If you could be above 8.5K. So 8.5K is the level that would put most of those indicators into positive territory. Next. Here we are too deep in the cloud, which to me is not good. This is totally different than in the last correction. We never spent that much in the cloud during bull market. And that's one of the reasons why people are that desperate right now. Here, this trend line is to me important, extremely important. I wanted to hold, and I hope that it will hold until we reach the top of wave 5. And right now we could be starting wave 3. This trend line is resistance right now, the blue one. And let's see if we manage to go above it. It is less important than the other trend line. Here we are below that moving average, which is now resistance. I hope we manage to go above it anytime soon. Here it's the entire outlook of BTC, and to me it is looking good. It is still looking like a great asset to be along in, and I'm expecting price to not go below 3.7K, to never drop below the blue moving average or points or line, whatever it is. Next. Here we are positive. Next, we well, that moving average is holding us, but as you can see, there's a cluster of resistance just above us. But once we manage to go above that cluster of resistance and reach, I think it's again 8.5K. Let's see. Yes, no, it's 8.1K on this indicator. As soon as we are above 8K, it would be nice. Here I want us to be about 7.8K to be fully positive. Here that moving average is holding, and there's a cluster of resistance. Again, we need to be above. We need to be above 8.2K to have the cluster of the resistance behind us. So it looks like if it will be difficult, according to those little indicators, to manage to go above the resistance that we have just above us right now. But as soon as that's the case, it should be a smooth sailing until the end of wave 3. Then you'll get wave 4 correction, and then we'll get wave 5. That's what normally should happen. The first one negative, second one looking better, pointing up. I give it a positive. That one is in overbought, oversold territorium, which I would give a positive, and the last one is very low, which tells me that the impulsive wave is not extremely impulsive for now. Here we are negative on the first, we are positive on the second one. Nice. We are negative on the last, but we could be soon positive on it. Here you have a resistance of the middle band as soon as we manage to get above it. As soon as we will be above 8K. Here's 7.9K. If we, as soon as you're about that, it would be positive. So it looks like if it can happen anytime soon. Next, we are here. We are holding. We're still negative, but I hope we manage to go above the middle, which would be positive. When I look at that, I don't expect the lower band here to break and to touch the 2.8K level. I do not expect that to happen because we did that during the last correction, and I do not expect us to go that long during wave 2. But I could be wrong, but I do not expect it. This one is flat right now, and we should be above it anytime soon, which is 13K. Next. Here we are pointing down, which is not as good. I hope that we manage to be above it and anytime soon, and it's 9K. Here we have now 3 candles in a row, and those candles, those arrows are important to me. By that I mean it tells me that we are at a turning point, either down or up, and these 3 in a row for me are the turning point, after which I expect price to rise and get some green hours following. Here we're still positive, and that moving average is holding. It was never broken because we never had a candle opening below it. Here we are now battling with that moving average, and if you can manage to go above it, if you have a candle that opens above it, we would be above resistance, but now we are sitting on it, so now it is resistance. I expect the resistance not to hold and price to rise. Here we are below that middle Bollinger Band, which is negative, and here we are below the that line at 1, I think it's at 1, and that is still negative, but it looks like if we will be positive anytime soon on that candle. Here we're still negative. Here we managed to go above that moving average, but we have not a candle that opened higher than it. So we still could lose the moving average and go down. We pierced it, but to me, in order for that moving average to break, we need a candle opening. We need next candle to open above it. And I think that will happen. At least that's what I expect. First one, we are battling with the resistance. As soon as we will be above it, that would be positive, and the indicator would go positive. The second one is looking much better. Here was a great moment to go long, and now it looks like if we are rising. And the last one is positive too. So we are here, we're sitting at resistance, and the 2 other ones are positive to me. First one, we are still negative. I hope us to be above 8.3K anytime soon, so it turns positive. Here we are negative, and here we are, the second one is positive, and the last one is negative. This is still looking good. People are not exiting in Tether, so I'm not expecting a drop anytime soon. Let's look at the fear index, if it's looking a little better or worse. Let's see what the fear index gives us. It's looking a little better, which is normal since price has picked up. And here on Google Trends, did the trends pick up or not? Okay, we are still below 100, but we are at close to 100, which is more positive than we were during a long period of time. So it's looking a little more positive than before, but nothing spectacular. Okay, that was all. Thanks a lot for watching and spending some time with me. I enjoyed this TA with you, and I hope to see you soon again. Let's see who is right, if I'm right or Haejin and Tone, which are extremely bearish. Let's see if my TA is better than their TA, and let's see if I'm right or if they are right. Anyways, as you know, in conclusion, I'm expecting wave 3 to start. If wave 3 hasn't started now, it should start anytime soon. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you soon.